to fall. I won't shed a tear for them to see. And I won't have your name to call. 'Cause I will be the last to fall.
The one thing about being in demand is you're in demand. And I would rather be in demand than sitting around doing nothing. So I apologize if your name didn't appear on the credits list, Helen and Robin, and maybe a few others. I don't know. But to be quite honest with you, I've not had the time. Christmas and New Year's and all that's an excruciatingly busy time in radio, as you can imagine. But nonetheless, we'll have it all lined out by next week, and a new open that's kind of excuse the pun, kick ass. So it's that's coming, and also we are going to begin to slowly here and there get back into doing um the Estes experiments. I think as long
We're
as
ready.
Stacy's up for that, and our
We're
next
ready.
person that we are really going to focus hard on is Krista Garrett. So there's been a ton of developments, and I don't have any notes in front of me, so I'm really going off memory here. Um, don't know if y'all heard this or not, but there is another arrest made in the case of Crystal Rogers. That's a total of three now. The first cat that got arrested was arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit and cover up murder, whatever. Well, of course, then they got Brooks Houck. We all saw that lovely little picture. And now
Mm-hmm.
they popped the first guy's son, and he's facing the same charges as daddy. So that's interesting. So we're
About
keeping,
time.
yeah, it is. You're right, Stace. It's about time. And of course, there's a ton of other stuff going on locally, but none of it has been confirmed as factual yet. And I'm one of those people that I have got to, um, before I go out there and say something, it is going to be confirmed because I'm not about this bullshit of spreading rumors. There's enough of that going around out there. When I hear it from a cop or I hear it from a prosecutor or I hear it from a reputable, somebody that knows that's in that case that's actually working it, then I go forward. But a lot of that going around. Yeah, it's back. The nagging cough.
Mm.
It's that most wonderful time of the. Yeah, what it is it's colder than your ex's heart, and it's rough outside. It's just bad. Tonight, of course, a lot of us are expecting. I went through tonight and through a drive-through, and of course, the lady there recognized me. And she said, "Are we going to get a lot of snow?" Really? No, I don't think that this area is going to get a lot of snow. I think we're going to get a ton of rain Saturday, quarter of an inch of rains forecast. We will see some snow mixed in with it, but I don't really think it's going to add up to much. You get north of the Interstate 64 corridor, and you're going to see some snow. You may see some up there around Lexington, where Stays is at. Excuse me, guys. I do apologize for this. I'm going to have to break down here in a minute, go in there and get some cough drops. But we are keeping an eye on something else next week too that's coming. Now that could be a slobber knocker.
Ooh, we like those.
Yeah, it could get downright hairy. My best advice, if you can pick us up, is 95.5. Listen in the mornings, afternoons, evenings. Either Johnny or I will keep you up to date on what's going on. Gormy, somebody will. We'll keep everybody up to date. But this one that's staring down right on top of us looks wet and cold. The next one could be something a little more severe. Something that could have impacts on travel.
That's what kids are wanting. Everybody's wanting.
Oh yeah,
kids.
yeah. They get out of school.
Oh, they're
You
looking
know, I
so
was the same
forward
way
to
when
it.
I was in school. I was the same way. Lord, please let it snow.
We still had to go anyway, didn't
Yeah,
we, Michelle? It didn't matter. We still had to go.
it didn't matter.
If it
I
was
can
up to
honestly
our
look at my
waist, we
kid now and
still had to
say,
go.
I can honestly look at my kid now and say, "My God, I used to walk uphill to school 2 ways in the pouring snow." I said I'd
Yep.
walk to school in the morning, it'd be 12 feet of snow, and I'd walk home and it'd be hotter than hell. Of course,
Yep.
she knows the whole 12 feet of snow thing, given the fact that I'm not 6 foot tall, but I always wanted to be when I was growing up. So it didn't really matter. But my kid would look at me and say, "Funny, I thought you rode dinosaurs to school." She's got her daddy's personality. Ain't no doubt about it.
That's good.
Yeah. She's a dandy now. She's a firecracker. But
Yep.
uh, done some news stories recently, and you can hear about this tomorrow on the station. Martin County couple got arrested for having. I mean, the house was so bad. They had two young kids. I think it was ages 6 and 7. They not only took the kids, they arrested the couple. Now, how bad does it have to be? And most cops I know, they're not prone to go in and do something like that unless it's absolutely deplorable. Because, like I said, most cops I know, guess what? They're human beings. They get lived in. They get a little messy, especially if you got kids. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
I used to call her Hurricane Alley. And
Hmm.
it really was. She really was. She come through and she was like the Tasmanian devil. And the crap went flying everywhere. And I was like, okay. And then when I left, I was like, holy hell. So yeah, they get that. They get the lived in thing. They get they get a little messy. They understand that. But how bad does it have to be for them to put two parents in jail? And then state police are looking at KSP is looking into a body that they found in Floyd County, Kentucky, outside of his car. And I think it was the Drift community or maybe Doyle. Anyways, all this stuff is going to be on there tomorrow. And this guy was not old at all. I mean, probably in his late 40s, I think it was, which is not old. Of course, me being in my early 50s, then I'm like, 50's a new 20. Shit.
I like to have the energy I did when I was 20.
Hell, I'd like to have the energy I did when I was 40. So, Yeah.
Youth is wasted on the young.
That is a very, very good point, my dear. It's like I told Gormy the other day. I said, son, I used to be able to punch a hole through steel and run through lead. I said, now I'm more like cotton and wool. I said, I used to have to handle the Kraken with two hands, and now it's like a field mouse. It just ain't. It just ain't there no more. So I'm like, whatever. So hey, at this point, I'm happy to be breathing, even if I am coughing.
Amen. Amen.
But we also keep in mind that I'm putting this out there right now. I don't think, if you've got traveling plans or if you're doing something Saturday is the big day. They are saying a quarter inch of rain. That's a lot of rain. So it's going to be downpours at times. So just be careful. And yeah, there's probably going to be some snow mixed in with it. We're looking at high temperatures in the mid 40s. So yeah, there's probably going to have that. So
Yeah.
just be careful. If you're north of the I-64 corridor, gosh, be careful. I saw in the chat room earlier where Robin said that she was in Ohio and that they're expecting quite a bit of snow up there this weekend. Yeah, I get that. Up in Ohio, yes, I saw the weather patterns up there, and it was like, oof. So, but the big one that we're looking at now in terms of travel impact is probably coming up next week. It is that time of year, guys. So now that I am done with my little
And the phone
spiel
will
about
shut
the
off.
weather, trying to keep people informed, let's talk about what it is, my love, that you and I do. And Lloyd, what, Lloyd, all right? Yeah,
He's had a rough. He's had a rough 8 days.
it's been taxing for him. Yes, it's been challenging.
It's been a tad rough,
Yeah, yeah,
to say the
but
least.
hopefully he's pulling out of it, and things will be well again.
You pulling out all right?
Um, yeah.
He says in a rehearsed tone of voice, "Yeah, I'm. Am I good? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
been
Huh?
worse. It's
What?
been worse on me than it has been for him. Just trust.
Yeah, yeah. I would imagine so. I would imagine so. So tell
Open
me,
some windows and
during
let
Christmas,
some
and we
fresh
hope that
air in.
everybody watching out there, and we're going to say hi in the chat room here in a second. But I hope everybody out there had a great Christmas and a happy New Year.
Yes,
Um, how's my girl doing, Faith?
she's doing good. She's actually making tacos right now. So
Tell her to save me one or two.
she
Um,
will. She'll bring it
with
down there to you.
with maters and cheese. So
Yeah.
we're from Kentucky, by hell. We don't
I'm
call it
getting ready to
tomatoes. We call
make
them
us a big
maters. Yeah.
broccoli casserole.
Oh gosh, had some of that at Cheddar's a while back. That was just
Hmm.
great stuff. Great stuff. I love broccoli
It's one of
casserole.
my favorites.
Activity. Have you had any over the
Um,
course? I mean, anything that really
we've
jumped out?
since we got the Titanic animal I told you about,
Yes. Can you show us that?
and that's basically. Let me show you the picture of the one I got that I
Okay.
was gonna real quick.
Hmm.
So we picked up a really old artifact, and it was one of the older stuffs. And that's anybody knows me, I collect stuffed animals,
Hmm.
um, but had to be
You
really
have
super
since you were
old.
a little girl. Yeah, you have.
This is one that was in the Titanic Museum, and if you'll, I don't know if I can see it with my camera
Yeah, yeah,
glazing
we
on,
can see it pretty well. It's
but that's
beautiful.
one that was in the Titanic Museum. And then if you'll notice the picture in the back of the one that the little girl is holding,
Hmm.
this is one of the little survivors, and she's got her little animal that she had on the Titanic with her.
Yeah.
Okay, you see what she's holding there? All right, Henry. Right there.
Yes.
And this is my baby. And
And
this
there's
is
your
the
little
first
stop. Hmm.
the little stuffed bullet.
Hmm.
And it's basically the same thing. So this
Have
is one
you
of the really, really older ones.
have you
But
named her?
no, no name. We just call it the little Titanic baby. But
Yeah.
it grabbed me when I saw it. So he got it for me for Christmas. So ever since we brought it in, we've been noticing such a peaceful feeling, especially here in the office. I mean, usually, the
You
dolls
think that
are
she's
either
quiet and peace
moved or,
now? Yeah. Do you think that
and
maybe
the
she's
doll
quiet
moved
now?
our last show, by the way.
Do what now?
The doll moved on our last show.
Which one?
Patsy,
Oh,
Patsy Rose.
Yeah, Lloyd called the ball on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she was moving around like you don't know what. And I mean, I knew I was hearing stuff, but I, me, I just look over it.
She can move
It
on
happens.
But
It does. It happens.
yeah, it's great. I
That's
mean, they're
commonplace.
super calm.
If we don't get something happening during one of these shows like that, I'm shocked.
I mean, it's true. And then so we've been watching the cameras down here because I keep the cameras going. This is where I do a lot of my work, and noticing orbs going into it, coming back out.
I was hoping after the migraine thing and the thing I told you about with me, the experience I had or experiences, that it would die away, and it ain't.
Welcome.
It ain't.
The water's warm.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. It has to be because I've almost pissed myself 3 times. Let's say hi to some of the folks in the chat. Robin,
Hey,
Lori, Helen. Yes, Lori gets to join tonight. That is awesome.
All right.
I love this thing she put on her Facebook post. She said, I thought of you today. Pissed me off. That's Lori. I love her. She's great. Let's see. Just absolutely fantastic. Some of these things I read sometimes. Excuse me. Tracy. Brookie is in there somewhere floating around. If Tracy's nearby, so is Brookie. There's our girl, Stace at 606 Paranormal. And I want to say if you've not liked 606 Paranormal on Facebook, do so. It's really cool. Some of the things that Stace posts, it's just literally out of this world. Let's see, who else do we have in there? Barry, of course, Barry Penix, Stephanie Blankenship, Maddie, Vicky Griffin.
There it goes.
Uh-huh.
All night tonight. So just moving my camera.
Charlie, listening in Isonville.
Get it started.
Yeah, I see that green flare that you're talking about there too.
There goes the green flare. I think it's the uranium.
I think so. Rachel E, a big hey to her. Let's see. Karen Lynn, Isaac Thompson, Sandra Goforth, Summer, Lenora. Lenora, it's always great to have faces that I'm not so familiar with in. But Kim Underwood Bradley. Hey, Kimmy. Kimmy. Let's see, who else do we have? Genevieve, James Paul Prim, my brother from another mother.
Yep.
Let's see here. Michelle Porter. God, I love Michelle. She's awesome.
That's my bestie.
Yeah, I hope
forever and a day, Lord have mercy.
I hope that
we wrote a book. I don't know.
I always thought the world of her brother Todd. Yeah.
Good guy.
Yeah. Vanita Hinkle. Let's see, who else do we have? Let's see, Ernestine Horn. Ernestine, great to hear from you. Great to see you in here. And let's see. Looks like there's certain people that participate in the chat. Chastity and Markham. Hey, chat. How are you doing? She is just absolutely gorgeous. She is so sweet. I've known Chat. I grew up just down the road from Chat. We weren't far apart at all.
He's an ass. My brother is too.
I don't even know where to go with that. I'm just going to drop it. Amy Thompson.
We got to say about our brothers. I mean,
y'all go ahead and talk about that. I ain't got no dog in that fight. Vicky Griffin. There's our Brookie. Let's see. There's so many people in the chat room. I don't want to miss anybody. But I don't think I have. I think I've said hi to just about everybody I've seen so far. Susan Mullins, right? Greta Stevens Dodson. Hey, Greta. And of course, yep. Let's see here. I'm kidding, brother. LOL. That's Michelle. Okay. Apparently she was dogging Todd. So poor Todd, man. I tell you. So with this being said, guys, if you're new to the show, what we do, the Mountain Mysteries podcast, Apple some years ago called it True Crime Meets the Paranormal, and it stuck. But the thing about it is at the time that the podcast came out, it really wasn't that paranormal-ish. And then we had Stace, my beloved, on an episode talking about the afterlife, and that thing exploded like gangbusters. People respond to you. They love you. And I had this thought. I said, well, we need to really get her on there. And I asked her, and it was that simple. It really was that simple. She's like, I'd love to do that. Yeah. And, bring what she and 606 Paranormal brings to the table, which is a considerable amount. And of course, then we had Lloyd, who wouldn't quit his bitching until we said, "Yeah, you can come on, and you can be." Yeah, I'm just
You
kidding.
can hide in the closet.
Lloyd was good enough to come on anyways, and he turned into the comic relief that if you knew him, you would kind of expect it, but if you didn't know him, you would just think, "Oh, that's really cool. He's there giving Stay support," and he does. But we called him, and it still sticks. Hashtag scared Lloyd.
He's
Because when
still a
one of
pain
those
in the
dolls
ass.
move, huh?
He's still a bit of a pain in the ass at times
Well,
because he is a
yeah.
little afraid of things that, you know.
Brandon and Crystal Case. Hey, Brandon and Crystal. So glad that you guys are here. Yeah, I mean, when one of them dolls moves, the first thing out of his mouth, oh God. And he's not kidding. People think that, this guy is a paid actor. I've not paid him nothing. I mean, he really does freak out over this because, Lloyd represents people that aren't used to this kind of thing.
Right.
Stace represents people that investigate it. And I represent that other third that says, the hell was that? What? Yeah, I'm that guy. Well, it turns out I'm leaning a little more and more towards something else these days. And that's
Mhm.
okay with me. States called the ball on this, gosh, what, 3 years ago?
Yep.
I guess it was.
Yep.
Uh,
I know.
Lloyd is afraid of the water too, according to James Paul. I don't know. Are you
That
afraid of
is
the?
not funny.
Are you afraid of the water, Sugar Tits?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, with James Paul, I am.
Well, James Paul, yeah.
I hadn't
Well,
heard this one yet, but he was holding. James Paul was teaching. He worked at the city pool
yeah.
back when we were all kids.
Hmm.
Like 10 years ago or something.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he was, giving instruction on how to swim, and I guess Lloyd was holding his nose. So James Paul,
Like puts me in a headlock and dunks me for felt like 5 minutes.
yeah, he
And I'm like,
Okay, if you're holding your nose,
he said,
when
"Quit
you're
being a
swimming,
pussy."
you got to cup your hands and pull the water back. How are you doing that if you're holding your nose? I think that's the point that JP was trying to make.
Oh, he made it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you know how I learned. Rest his soul, Joe Taylor at Johnson Central High School, deep into the pool, 12 foot in, 10 foot in, whatever it was. I said, I ain't a going in there. He said, oh yes, you are. I said, no, I'm not. He said, oh yes, you are. I said, no, I'm not. And about that time, he kicked me straight in the ass, and then I went, and he said, oh yes, you are. And I learned how to swim. And it was new, it was scary because it was new. And that taught me an invaluable lesson. Joe Taylor did that. He taught me an invaluable lesson. Confront your fear. Face your fear, and you may discover that what you really dreaded to do, you actually enjoyed doing because you're getting ahead. You're learning something new. And to be quite honest with you, I have no doubt that that has saved my life. So, but that's who I credit with teaching me how to swim was Joe Taylor. Rest his soul. Hattie Smith just joined us. Hey, Hattie, great to see you. And I will try to mention folks as we go on. So, ever since Titanic Baby came in, you have had that museum is absolutely freaking awesome.
It was. It was. I'm
Um,
telling you, I could have stayed there forever, and I was just being jerked every which way by emotions, and then trying to control my emotions, and then just trying to go with things I felt, and it was
did you
crazy.
get the ticket of one of the passengers?
Yeah,
Did you
I lived.
survive or
I did,
I didn't?
but only because I had money.
So you were a first class passenger. I
Only because
was
I had money.
I was a second class preacher. That didn't sound right. But I was I was second class and I was a preacher and I went down with the ship. Apparently I gave up a spot on the lifeboat to a child, which is honestly sounds like something I'd
So
probably
many heroes.
that night was laced with heroes
Absolutely.
and one or
When you
two
walk into the
cowards.
music room
One or
and you
two
see all
cowards.
of them that wouldn't stop playing to try to keep people calm. They
The
had these
the
big life
musicians were heroes.
pictures of all of them. Life just
Wallace
big.
Hartley and there was I think 5 other gentlemen, heroes. And then of course you had
Yes, they were.
J. Bruce Ismay, who was a damn coward, took a seat on a lifeboat. And then you had other guys that were just, I mean, they were heroes. What else can you say?
Absolutely.
What was it that was it all Colonel Archibald Gracie? Maybe
I've actually got all the names right here.
said
I've been
that
looking through all of them.
him and his manservant said that we are dressed in our best and prepared to go down as gentlemen. I may be wrong on the name, but and J.J. Astor, he made
They
sure
had
that
all
his
his stuff.
pregnant
They had
wife
his
got to a
cufflink.
lifeboat, and he went down with the ship. He
I'll
was
tell
the
you
richest
what,
man on the ship.
standing in front of that, the clock and all that,
Oh yeah,
especially
yeah.
seeing all that stuff. I mean, man, it was all I could do just to keep a straight face.
No, that was in Tennessee, right?
This is when you first walk in, this hit me so hard. Whenever something would hit me so hard, I would stop and take a picture of it. As soon as I stepped into the music room,
Hmm.
and if as you can see, I don't know if you can or not, these humongous, like 5 feet tall photos of all of them that were
Yeah,
out there playing.
yeah.
So I just started snapping pictures of everything. I got a picture of the piano.
Hmm.
There's a little better pictures of them,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
it's
Heroes. I
William
mean,
Theodore Brayley,
yeah.
George Alexander Krenz.
Hmm.
I mean, young
Wallace Hartley was the band leader.
Wallace Hartley.
That's him right there. That's him. Yep. And he had not been married long.
Percy Cornelius Taylor.
Yeah. I think he was what is it called? It's the country slang version is bass fiddle, but it's cello. Cello. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken. But I mean there were so many heroes on that ship.
That right there really takes your breath when you walk in there.
E.J. Smith.
When
Is
you
that
walk
E.J.?
through and it's all dark. And then it posts
Yep,
they
that's
had
E.J. Smith, Captain.
they had a letter that he sent from the Titanic to his little girl. And they opened it and let everybody read it. And I got a pic of it.
I'm telling you right now, it's
You talk
he
about
went down with the
sad.
ship. He was on the bridge when the ship went down, and he went down with it. It was I've actually got somebody in the chat room. I'm not going to mention any names, but this beautiful young lady was actually disturbed when she found out that Jack and Rose were not actually on the Titanic. And I said, honey, look, the story of the Titanic is true, but Leo and Kate weren't there at that time. There was no Jack and Rose, or there may have been a Jack and Rose, but it wasn't that
Right.
situation. So it's,
Yeah.
but I've been told that there was actually a Jack Dawson on the ship. Now, whether or not that's
Madeline
true, I
Astor.
don't know. Madeline Astor, yes,
They had all of her dresses
that was John Jacob
and his
Astor's
stuff.
wife,
Yeah.
and she was pregnant at the time that the
She
ship
really
sank.
was.
And J.J. Astor made sure that she got to a lifeboat, and he gave up his seat to others. Now, keep in mind, this man is one of the wealthiest men in the world at the time, and the wealthiest man on the RMS Titanic. And when it went down, he went down with it.
They've even got his cufflinks
Yeah,
that was on him when he, was in the
they
water.
found
and
him. Yeah,
he-
yeah, they found him. Yeah, but
And
so
then, of
many they
course,
didn't find.
even though Jack and Rose weren't real, for some of us, they were real.
Mhm.
So when I went into the gift shop on the way out, I had to stop and take a pic of this.
Yep, the heart of the ocean.
Let me tell you
La
what,
creme de
that
la
Titanic
mer.
was one of my most favorite movies ever, ever, ever.
See, look
So
at Brooke in there. She's saying it right now. I mean, it
they're
dang
all
near broke
they're
my
alive
heart.
in my heart. Our heart will go on, Brooke.
Yeah. But a lot of the stuff, excuse me, a lot of the stuff that you see on that exhibit actually came from the RMS Titanic.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
did. They had
she's
all
over a
kinds of
mile down in the North Atlantic, just out of, I forget how far off Nova Scotia. She's so many miles, but it's not horribly far. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those, and I first saw the film when it came out in 1997, and I'll be the
Mhm.
first one to tell you, I shed tears.
Oh
And
my
was it
God.
because Jack died? Yes and no. Because
Oh my
here's the
God.
thing. If you sit back and look at the story, to me, Rose represented the middle and upper class. Jack represented the third class folks, the people that didn't have a lot of money, but they
It was
had
precious.
a lot of hopes and a lot of dreams. And who died? Jack. He
And
died.
I died too. When he died, I died too.
I'll never let go. I'll never let go.
Oh, listen, I cried for 3 days over that. I couldn't even talk about it. And then when I saw the lady in the water with the little baby and all that,
Was it
I
Matt
just had
Damon?
faith. I
Matt
just gave
Damon
birth to
asked
faith.
he asked Leo
I was
DiCaprio.
tore up.
He said, "Was there enough room on the door?" Leo said, "Oh, shut the hell up." He said, "That's all I hear." But I don't know. I'm not a physicist,
Yeah.
but you think about this, and you especially when one of the lifeboats turns around and they come back,
I mean, it
and you
wouldn't have
see,
mattered anyway. You're going to freeze to death in that. If you're
did you stick
wet,
your hand in the
anyhow.
water? The
Yes, I
water,
did.
the water was the same temperature it was that night.
I stood there, but for about 10 minutes.
Best I could do was 5 or 6 seconds.
I kept mine in there for a little while
Oh my God!
just to see.
Imagine your whole body being submerged in that.
I couldn't. I actually did. I sat there for a while.
I think they said that 2 minutes was about the best you could expect. They said if you're flying, it was 3 or 4.
Well, not to mention if you have lupus like me and you don't have any lungs, you're dead.
Oh yeah, you're gone.
You're gone. I mean, you only have so much percentage of the lung. You're gone.
Yeah, and then of course you had the damn ship breaking apart all around you, funnels flying, and I mean, ain't no wonder the ship's baker was drunk hanging off the back of the ship. That part was true, Brooke. That was true. He was on the back of the ship hanging off there, and he just kept drinking liquor. And
I don't blame him.
Hell, I don't blame him. I would have too. I'd have been all over that like a boar hog on a corn cob. So it's but all these people, and of course, and I think it all comes back to look, you don't test God.
Mm-mm.
One of the newspapers had said that God himself couldn't sink this ship.
Shit.
God said, "Watch me." That's my guess. And now you put that together with you're at a time in 1912 when technology is the answer to all of man's problems.
Well,
And
they've got it all figured out now. It was bolts, rivets, and all this other stuff that was faulty.
that is a theory.
Should have held up.
It is a theory, and at first a lot of people thought it was a 300-foot long gash in the side of the Titanic. No, it wasn't. It kind of went along like Morse code, dip, 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 dip.
Yeah,
and it did. It knocked the rivets loose, separating the plates, letting the water in.
And those were not supposed to even be able to be knocked loose with their materials and all that. I've watched so many documentaries about this because
God, me too.
I'm obsessed.
My gosh, me too. Yeah.
And I just forever and a day I was watching everything coming and going on.
Did you get to stand on the bridge in the museum? Was that just not haunting?
I've got pictures of all of it.
Yeah, it was just haunting. It was awesome.
I'm not even joking when I'm telling you I didn't even sleep that night for everything that I was hearing and seeing and feeling.
Yeah. And you stood on the back of the deck where the ship was angled at.
I sure did.
It was going down. Yeah.
I got pictures of all that. I got pictures of the lifeboat, sitting in the lifeboat because I'm like, my big fat butt's wouldn't have fit in one of these lifeboats. And so I walked over and sat down. And I'm like, wow, there's plenty enough room for lots of people in this lifeboat.
Thomas Andrews said that the lifeboats were tested in Belfast with a weight of 75 men. And one boat launched with, I think, less than 12 people.
Ridiculous.
And, I love the woman, and I cannot remember her name now. Frances something. Beautiful lady, fantastic actor or actress. She played Rose's mother. And she said a line that was so spot on. She said, "Will the lifeboats be seated according to class?"
Oh, my God, I hated her. She was such a great actress. I hated her.
Yeah. She was such a great actress. You love to hate her.
Great. Yes.
She was great. And I love Kathy Bates as Molly Brown. They could not have picked a better Molly Brown.
She was awesome.
Cameron could not have done a better job picking Molly Brown than Kathy Bates, I don't think.
That's for sure.
Well, come on, Sonny. I wasn't about to wait my heels cool my heels waiting on you. So, oh Lord, I loved her. She was great.
Me too.
I mean, look, I'm not a huge Leonardo DiCaprio fan, but I thought he outdone himself in that.
I was at that time.
Kate Winslet. Now I love Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
I've seen her in several things. But
I thought she would have made a great pair with him.
Oh my gosh.
I would love to have seen them got together.
Well, today they are super close. They're extremely close friends.
Yeah. And ain't no wonder. Shoot.
And I like Billy Zane too, and he played Cal.
Oh yeah.
And you love to hate his guts.
Yeah, he was great.
He was a rich, spoiled little bitch. And you just loved to hate him. But Billy Zane is Cal, which Cal was made up. But he represented, the big money. He was the son of a Pittsburgh steel tycoon, I think it was.
I mean, he had the heart of the ocean. I mean,
God. Well, what did Brock Lovett, the guy that played him, and he just died a few years ago. God, and I hated that. He was so good. He
Bill
played
Paxton.
Bill Paxton. He played Morgan Earp in Tombstone.
God, he
But
was great.
he was great in anything he did.
He really
And
was.
what did he tell older Rose? He said it would be worth more than the heart, or it would be worth more than the Hope Diamond today.
Yep. This when
Yeah,
you stick
see?
your hand in the water
Yeah.
and what it looked like when you stick your hand down in that water and everything. So I stood there. Of course, you see behind me off the deck back there.
Well, Lloyd told me that your hand went in the water and his nipples got hard.
My hand, and I went to the water to my elbow before I could take of it.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. I mean, it was crazy. It was
crazy, and it was so sad.
But all the way through that thing, and keep in mind, I was kind of at the end of the tour, but all the way through that thing, I just had this feeling that somebody was watching. And it wasn't anybody in there on the tour. It's just a kind of a weird feeling. But yeah, you kind of get that feeling.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I was
And
telling
that
you
is a
about.
place where you pay respect.
Yeah. And
That
here's
is a
what
place where you pay respect.
where
Over
it's
1,500
different
miles long.
degrees of
Yeah.
steepness.
Yeah, man, that's
So
it.
many
That's
different
it. Gosh.
at the different times.
Ugh.
And then
You talk about a nightmare.
there
And
was the pocket watch.
you're on the ship and you see what's coming. You know what's coming. Yeah. They recovered that from the North Atlantic,
beautiful.
didn't they? From the field.
Frozen in time. It's got the time and everything on it frozen.
What's the time say on it?
Land. It's got 2:35.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Well, she went under at 2:20 a.m. So
Whoever that was lasted about 15 minutes.
and that was
Then here's one of the lifeboats, and then you can see there's like maybe 6 of us back behind me, and then one person in front of me, and you see how much leg room.
Oh, there's plenty of space. Yeah.
Here you see my knees right here. I was just taking pictures to prove the size. And how much room you had from one bench to the next bench in the lifeboat.
Mm-hmm.
You could have put 3-4 people went just in between your feet until the next bench.
Yeah.
Like that, whoever made these were making them, for comfort.
Yeah, they were making them so you could get, and that was another thing too. J. Bruce Ismay said that passengers don't pay to look at lifeboats. When the Titanic was constructed, they had plans to have enough lifeboats for every single person on board, and then he cut them by half. So that meant that there was enough room for about half the people on board.
Here's what John Jacob Astor's room looked like when you first walked in.
Oh yeah, he was. Oh yeah.
And there's her dresses and his watch and his cufflinks and everything in the case, and
nothing but pure luxury. Yeah.
And I mean that furniture and everything. I mean it's just breathtaking.
Yeah.
It was a dream come true for me. And my best friend Nancy took me, and I told her, I said, this was couldn't have came at a better time. And I was really ready, and I was fully enjoyed every second of it.
It's one of those things that you just don't. Would you not love to be able to go there and investigate and see if you could get something?
Actually, one of my friends, Chip Coffee, that does a lot of things on TV here and there.
I know of Chip. I've never met him, but
he hosts.
Mm-hmm.
He has a thing here every year. You can do like a dinner and like a little walkthrough with your equipment and stuff.
I had no idea. I wonder if he's ever caught anything or.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because they would be attracted to that.
Oh, it's their personal items, and then you're making something that's identical, to everything that they just seen before they passed away. It's just crazy.
Yep.
The whole feeling of that place, the whole ambiance.
Yeah.
Everything there was breathtaking. It was beautiful.
Well, what Ernestine said was a gorgeous staircase. The Olympic had one like it, and so did the Britannic, if I'm not mistaken. But they were known as the Grand Staircase. And
yeah, beautiful.
Yes, Charlie, the pool still has water in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bathtubs too. Yeah, bathtubs too. Yeah. What was it that Louis Abernathy said in the film? Oops. Looks like somebody
left the water running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. His sense of humor was just like, bam, there it is. So, hey, Kim, how are you doing?
Hey, Kim.
So, I mean, I've been, but that's something I could definitely go back and see time and time again.
We need to get together and make a plan to go there.
Yes, absolutely. I'd be all for it.
I mean, together we would be. I think.
I mean, the
we would
tickets are
get
like
some
what, 25 or
real
30 bucks,
activity
or
there.
30 bucks, 35 bucks, something like that. They're not
Yeah.
horrible. They're not
No, you can
bad
get
at all.
them at different times. Yeah, better priced and things.
Oh yeah, yeah. And let me tell you, the money goes to the Titanic
Reservation.
Foundation, doesn't it? Yeah, yeah, yes. And I think I couldn't imagine a better way.
Mm-mm.
You know, something else better
I
than
would
to put
definitely
money
go
on that.
back.
Oh, I
I
would
would.
too. I would too. It was just absolutely fantastic. But yeah, that is something I would like to go to the dinner that Chip hosts.
Yep.
I really would.
I'll next time he sends me that, I'll send it to you.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't care a bit to pay out
Yeah,
money to
we
do
need
that
to
and
do
actually
that.
meet with him. Yeah,
I think that he usually does that about midsummer.
I think that would be incredible.
So we'll figure it out.
So tell me, but since that doll has come into your place, the staff, it's calmed things down.
Things seem to be really calm. Like I said, I sit there last night for probably an hour and just watched one, like this little glowing tiny little orb
Uh-huh.
go in and out.
Michelle
And
wants to go with us,
all right.
so we'll
And I
take
had
her.
him actually sitting up here on my spirit box, which is actually right over here. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. We got the lights down because of the lighting, but I had him sitting beside the spirit box, of course. I did have him in there with my uranium, but I took him out. So all kinds of peace and I mean, as you can tell, it's been really, really quiet around here.
Kind of odd. It's kind of odd that Lloyd's not taking him with him wherever he goes.
And I even left I left the dolls out. I didn't take any of them, put them up. I left them out. Agnes sitting right here. Crap.
Yeah. Yeah, Agni. Yeah, yeah. That doll is kind of cray cray. With all
Hmm.
respect. Yeah. Well, I'll say this: cray cray things happen around that doll.
I try to change them out because of where I've got the cameras going in the office here now all the time. I
Hmm.
try to change them out so we can watch, see what goes on.
That is a good idea. But I'm actually kind of pleased to see that she has calmed things down.
Yep.
Have you
Yep.
done the experiment
This
yet of
sweet little
taking her to another
baby.
room?
Have I done what now?
Have you done the experiment yet of taking her to another room and seeing if things ramp back up to see if it
No.
is her?
No. Actually, we've only been home a couple of days and he's been so sick we haven't really done much of anything but lay
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, it's been yeah, there's been the stomach virus going around, and there's all kinds of stuff going around right now. It's not great. As a matter of fact, it kind of sucks. So I hope that you guys are feeling good. Cam said Lloyd wants to cuddle with all those dolls.
Oh, he has many times. Listen, I make him every time we go on a doll tour, wherever it's at, he has to pack them.
JP
He's
asked
sitting
if
over
you
here
could
giving
show
me
a
a
close.
dirty look. He has to pack them in and out of the car and help me get them going and stuff.
JP asked if
So,
you can show a close up of Titanic Baby again.
yeah, hang on, let me
So
turn
it
this
looks
big
like
black
one that his
light
older
on.
brother had as a child. Yeah, there you go. Oh, isn't she pretty?
This one actually, the babies in the Titanic is a little rougher because it's played with quite a bit more.
Well, yeah.
But this one, as you can tell, it's actually same era,
You know,
same old little bullet, little stiff bullet.
I get an easy feeling of with her.
Oh, you should. I can't wait till you feel it. I cannot wait till you feel it.
She looks beautiful. Looks very soft.
It's still retained that softness, even though it's 100 years old. It still retains it.
It's
I
incredible.
mean, it's you can hear it because the mohair and everything. It sounds like it's straw. When you get these older ones, they feel like straw, and you can, a lot of them are really worn out from a lot of being played with and loved so much. But when I saw this one, first thing I did. Usually, when I go up to something like that in an antique place, I
But
step
a lot
out.
of people will say, and I love those things. I just think that is beautiful. But
Oh,
people will
listen,
say,
I'm a scarf collector. I love them.
this guy who used to ride a Harley and all this and all this and all this, and I'm sitting there going,
Excelsior, that's the other word for it. Yeah. My
Yeah.
sister's collects stuff too. You should see some of the bears that she has.
But my mom, before she passed, had crocheted me a panda. And
Oh,
we had these things about pandas. Because I always said, damn, I said, in another life, I was a panda. They sleep 18 hours a day, and the 6 they're awake,
yeah.
they're constantly on the go and they're constantly eating. I said, if that ain't my damn life, I cannot sum it up any better than that. Only it's actually I'm on the go 18 hours a day, and if I can sleep 6, I'm lucky. But I've still got the panda, and I named him. Is either Petey or Peter or some kind of name. But I've got several pandas, and I love stuff like that. I love dogs like that. They just bring you some peace.
They do.
And then you've got dogs like Lloyd loves, like Agni.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Lloyd,
come on.
I told you, here we go. Go ahead and hold her there, Lloyd.
Negative.
The eagle's not going to land on that one, is he? Mm-mm.
I'm good over here.
I know there's people that see that doll and it just downright makes them sick right off the bat.
I've got headaches, anxiety, with the nosebleed.
Mm-hmm.
And then you and I, Chris, were there when the little girl was complaining about.
Yeah, that was in Jackson. Yeah. Lloyd says negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. He's oh boy.
My pants were full last week.
I knew he couldn't hold it. I knew he couldn't hold it through the whole show.
You knew it was going to come out sooner or later.
I
There
knew it was
you go.
coming, and I tried.
This is kind of like a free for all welcoming in 2024. We really didn't have a set plan tonight, except to say hi to y'all.
Hope y'all had a good Christmas, New
And
Year.
a good New Year's.
And
Yeah.
we're so glad to see you guys.
Lori says that that doll looks like a memory doll.
A bad memory.
Yeah, and Kimmy said that the doll with the teeth freaks her out the most. And I'm assuming that's what you mean, Kim.
He's got real teeth.
Yeah, we suspect.
Inside and out.
Mm-hmm, we suspect that doll was used in voodoo ritualistic practices. Lord.
Yeah.
Are pretty. This is one of our 606 haunted doll.
That's probably one of
favorites.
the most, would you say?
She is, and I'm not even joking with you. You can smell burnt.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. Smells like Lloyd's baking cookies. Barry says it kind of looks like buckwheat. Really, Barry? Good God.
She's sweet. And
Barry, remember what that doll's already done to Lloyd. If I was you, I'd be very careful about the next words that come out.
Listen, the cars are still in the shop.
What is it now, Lloyd? About a half a year, 6 months?
6 months.
That's why I let people come up with their own equipment and see the dolls for ourselves. That's why we just let anybody, come up. We invite you to come up, bring your equipment.
I did not know this, Stace, but Lori said that they used to add body parts or hair and teeth on dolls to keep the spirit of that particular person contained.
Yep.
See, that's what I love about
those small ones.
I love learning stuff like this. And I had no idea, Lori. Thank you. I did not know that. That is, I learn a lot from Stace, but it's.
They make jewelry also out of like their, say for instance, some woman lost a wife, they would cut her hair and go and make necklaces out of the hair, put it in little boxes. I have some soldiers' tins that were in soldiers' pockets with a little piece of their wife's or girlfriend's hair still in it.
No, I think who was it?
It's called Morning Jewelry.
Ryan Buell with Paranormal State had actually done an investigation in Gettysburg and found that very thing that you just said. It was a locket from a soldier, and he had a strand of his girlfriend's hair in it.
Yeah, I've got 2 or 3 of those. I'll tell you what, I'll bring them on and show everybody.
That would be fun.
I haven't brought them out, you guys, because a lot of times things are attached. We know this.
Yeah.
When things go off like that, I try not to put that on everybody right away.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. And, you can bring in too much too quick. Some people will just,
That's correct. That's why I'm very cautious about what I do bring out.
yeah, that'll just that'll blow some people's minds.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about some of our other dolls. How about Reagan? How's she doing?
Yeah, let's pull some of these out too. She's actually sitting over there in the corner. She's still looking heavy.
I remember that woman in Breathitt County,
Heavy.
Jackson. I looked at her and said, "You want to hold Reagan?" She was like, "Oh hell no!" She
No,
wanted nothing to do with that.
he's
I mean,
got
she
the
came up out of
heaviest
her
feeling
skin.
that yeah. She's just heavy.
She is,
And not weight wise. I mean, you can just feel it.
It's a heavy air about her.
It's oppressive. Okay, hang on to her for a minute.
No,
Hold the doll for a minute.
come
I have
on.
to move her to get the other ones out. When we first got this little boy in, this one was Lars, and I'm gonna tell you what, I would go to wipe his face off.
That EMF meter, I'll never forget that.
It's pegging it right now, as a matter of fact.
It was jumping to 70 and 80, and normally if you can get one to go to 3 or 4,
right?
You're
if you
flying.
get an EMF meter to go off on a doll at all,
you're flying.
Then there's something wrong.
That thing went to Lars had it at 70 and 80.
I got him in, and I would try to clean him.
Mm-hmm.
And when I would clean him, a bruising would show up the next day, and I have it documented.
Go ahead,
he
Lloyd.
would bruise.
Pet her, stroke her, love her.
Remember that when he had those bruises on his cheeks and his forehead?
Yes,
yeah.
I do.
So, but
yes, I do. I remember that because it looked like smudges, but it wasn't.
Yeah, and I mean, you could even get up close, and I was,
they were a purplish in color. Yeah.
Now put this down.
Yeah, you can put it down. Wait a second. It's not going to hurt you.
That's not true.
So anyway, the ones that are still somewhat give off on our EMF, I keep them up front here, where by the camera. And of course, little Tobias came in next, and we found out that they both came in a big chest.
Yeah, but the chest had what in the bottom of it?
Well, we think that it had some DNA
from a human being,
from a small child.
From a small child.
I think that's the one that had, and I still have the trunk. We think a doctor smuggled in a dead body in a trunk.
Was it Tobias or Lars that had the hands change on him while we were on the air? Yeah, okay.
Won't be me.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Oh, you naughty, naughty boy. Mm-hmm.
And they still change.
Yeah.
They still morph around and change. It's the weirdest thing. But yeah, this was his little friend that came with him in the trunk, we found out, which we got that later on too.
Yeah.
We actually think that the people that had them got tired of the activity and were like, you know what, you take it for a while.
It blew their mind. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it did mine.
I said, I'll take them all. And of course, this one, her actual name was Violet. But we've been calling her Patsy Rose and all kinds of stuff because she reminds us of Patsy Cline. But she's been moving her mouth and stuff.
Really?
I've got pictures of her, and you'll see her mouth like this, and then she'll have her head turned like to the side, and then her mouth will be something like that, kind of. It's weird. But yeah,
she can move on out of the house, as far as I'm concerned.
Poor old Lloyd.
He don't love my babies.
Part of the deal, Lloyd. It's like accepting the kids.
He knew whenever he went with me on a couple private cases. One was a little girl. She was about 7. He knew from then on out what this job consisted, what I did, and how to handle it.
I got to honestly say, it's never really scared me. It's made me cautious. But curiosity sometimes seems to take over. And it's not that I'm being curious for the sake of being curious. I'm being curious because, to me, if this is real, and it is, then that means that life goes on after what we know. And to me, that gives me hope.
Exactly.
Rachel said that she said, I can't remember the name, but how's the one in the pink dress? That would probably be Polly. The one that always
Jenny.
moved. Jenny.
She's sitting over there.
Dress.
She's doing good. Yeah.
Jenny's my girl. Yeah. I love Jenny. She's my girl.
This was a new one that we got right before Christmas, and
Well, she looks like she's been having a good time on all three.
she sure
that,
do.
that one eye rolled back in her head and
She
her
sure do.
hair
I
all
love
messed
her.
up.
I love her. I think she's a beautiful. She reminds me of something that would have been on like the Waltons when the kids went into like the stores to buy penny candy and stuff.
She kind of reminds me of something that would have been on John Boy. So
She's the one I love.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
you're going to slip up.
Lloyd, I'm telling you,
He gets going.
it's
He's
your
going to slip
world.
up.
It's your world to own. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. Well, I mean, it's like I was in the hardware store a while back, and it said duct tape, shovel, electrical nodes, bull whips, and something else. And I said, hell, somebody's having a party on all three. So it's
Sounds like it.
yep. I said somebody's having a big old time. So
Listen, Charlie, I would love it if he would let me do that. I love to sleep with I've got a staff dogs up there beside of our bed. And he's not about it. He doesn't want the dolls up there or anything. And I have, I had to show you guys a picture in our bedroom. I have it done in like hard rock. One of my favorite bands is
something I've
Ghost.
noticed tonight that's lacking. Enzo's not in there going crazy.
He's laying over here.
Normally,
Told you.
he's going crazy.
Yeah, but we keep I have my band. I have their masks up on the wall.
Yeah.
And you can wake up at any given time and those masks, the face kind of distort.
Mm-hmm.
When you're just waking up and stuff. And I mean, that's enough already. And then I have my big bomber jacket that I have all my patches on that I fixed up hanging on the closet door. So it looks like there's somebody standing there watching us all the time. Then if you look in the doorway to the room, we get visitors all the time that'll come and peek their head around and look at you. So he's like, just let me get to sleep. Let me turn the other way. So he wouldn't let me bring anything else in there, I know.
And yet he's the one.
I mean, she wakes me up. She's like, oh, by the way, somebody's in the door. I'm like, thanks.
And he's the one that's got the African tribal masks that are haunted.
He don't know more.
I took those out of the house.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah.
Did that make your life any better? After you tried to give them to me 3 times?
I'll bring them to you.
I don't know. It's okay.
I think
you
they
brought
had
me
to
the
do with
bullhorn
fertility,
and my
too.
clapperboard. I'm fine with that.
I think that's one of them has something to do with like fertility.
Like, that's a wrap.
Well, no, what I want to do is I want to get on the bullhorn and show up in your neighborhood and get on there and tell everybody that the Fayette County game warden has an arrest warrant for Lloyd Gullett for molesting waterfowl.
Oh, God.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
I'm just saying, I think that would be interesting.
I'll go over here and see who's sticking out and wants to come out.
No, that's yeah, I had to get those out. They were bad.
I remember you said they were.
I mean,
yeah.
Listen, nobody, and I've gone to antique shops. I've gone to all these stores. I've asked people. I'm like, hey, if you want these, hang them up. I'll bring them to you. They're like, no way.
They don't want no part of it.
Nobody.
They knew better.
So,
no, as soon as you told me about them, I was like, no. There's too many things that can attach there. I didn't want any part of that.
I got one for Barry.
No.
Shatner.
Oh, boy, here we go. Barry's got a thing for Shatner, I think.
Barry loves Shatner.
I don't love any of them.
I love them all.
I just think they're cool.
I have a better job. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And having some fun along the way.
And you've helped a lot of people.
Yeah, I definitely try. So there's get this one.
Edmund and Shatner.
Guess who, Barry?
Can't believe
Now-
we got him in a dress still.
Now Shatner is in his little christening gown, and as you all can tell, he is wobbly. He also has a soft spot.
And a hard spot,
He is. He is anatomically correct. He has little holes in his ears. He is actually a little medical baby from the 60s. So when we host Shatner, we have to kind of give him a little, like a real baby.
Spock.
Damn it, Jim.
Damn it, Jim.
I'm a doctor, not a pool man.
Damn it, Jim. I'm an Agni. Oh my gosh. I don't even.
See his cute little feet? It's really cute.
Mm.
Don't show his junk.
I didn't mean to show his junk. I think his little diaper came off. But you know what?
Here we go. This is going to get good.
You can put his little diaper back on him.
Oh boy.
I'm telling you, he feels so real. Here
I
you
mean,
go.
he weighs about 50 pounds.
He really does. He's 22 pounds, I think. And then this is the one that likes to cry out mama all the time. Little Edmund.
Edmund. Yeah. He was in Bertha County with us.
Oh yeah. He always cries out mama. You could be walking by and you'll hear him and he'll say it. And then I've got another one that's been saying mama too. And I haven't told Lloyd about this
Where's
one
his
yet.
undies?
I told you his little diaper came off.
Oh,
Don't show the baggage. I already did.
showing the sack.
No, don't do it.
Wait.
Sackage.
Oh, great. Now you're into doll porn.
All right, listen. And she's from the 50s and she's got all her, she still works. And her mouth moves all the time, whether we're here or not.
I would fall over if it looked over at Lloyd and said, "Yeah, it's Mouthworks. I command you to go forth and spill the blood of the innocent."
I will kill you later.
Yeah.
Those freak me out. You
I
hear
love
this
her.
stuff all the time.
I love
You know,
her.
you remind me of Tig on Sons of Anarchy.
I love you.
Because Tig, no, he wouldn't come within 300 miles of that place.
Well, now if we had some hookers, he would that he could bury
Well,
under the
yeah.
house,
Yeah.
and
That he
put
could bury
bleach
in
on
the
it.
house. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, God, I love Kim Coates. He was awesome.
God, he was great.
No, he just
That
great.
was one of the best shows ever.
Yeah, it really was. And then Sutter gave us Mayans, which I'm sorry, I just didn't get into that.
Me either.
But Sons of
After
Anarchy,
Jack's,
yeah.
yeah.
Sons of Anarchy, I really thought that was a great show. It was well written.
Yeah,
It was Hamlet
that was
on
another-
wheels.
That was another heartbreak that I couldn't talk about for about a week after that.
Oh, after Charlie Hunting or after
Yeah.
Jack's, yeah, that was
Yeah.
that sucked. But
It
It
did.
is.
I'll tell you what sucked was when his mom. Well, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but what happened with his mother? The whole
damn,
deal.
it went off the air in 2011, didn't it? I mean, it's I'm sure everybody.
If you all haven't seen it, oh man, it was great.
It's worth the price of buying digital download or
Oh, it
Blu-ray or
is.
whatever. Yeah, it's worth every nickel of it.
I mean, I was telling Lloyd about how good it was. He's
Yeah,
like, "You
well-
like some crazy shit? I don't think I like it." I'm like, "Oh my god, it's great.
Oh man,
Game of
it's-
Thrones is great." He won't
you know
watch it.
it's in the motorcycle club world. Well, you know how accurate that is. I don't know. I've never been in a motorcycle club, but I can tell you that the
Made it look
storyline
fun.
itself and the themes are incredible, and they all come back to be they're true. You know that you have to tell one lie to cover up another to cover up
Right.
another, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. And sooner or later, you're going to lose track. And this is about what happens when you do. And let me
Yeah.
tell you something: hell comes calling.
Oh god,
You
paybacks
got
are
to pay the
ridiculous.
devil his
Yeah.
due. That's right. You got to, and Katie Seagal as Jim. Oh man,
I loved her. Oh my god, she was great.
yep, yeah.
Until
Ron Perlman as Clay.
he
Great.
was good too.
Yeah. But
Until he
anyways,
was.
yeah, Lloyd, I think you'd like it. I
Yeah,
really
it
do.
was so good. Oh, Game of Thrones is my favorite, Kim.
I never really did watch it.
I watched it for 8 years.
Hmm.
8 years.
I mean, I have no doubt it's good.
So
I just
hooked.
have to sit down and get into it.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's great. The first episode or two is a little slow because it had a different director and everything, but it picks up after that, and it's just, I
Yeah.
mean, it's the best.
Barry Panics. Opie. God, I love
Oh
Opie.
my God, Opie was the best.
Oh, he was awesome. He
Whenever they
was
got him
that
to
friend
jail,
that everybody needs to have.
that's
He
right.
was that guy. Opie to me was like Trevor. Trevor was like Opie to me.
Yeah,
He was that guy. Yeah, I may try to watch it, Kim, if I ever get
it's
time.
worth it. It's really
But
worth it.
yeah, I think it is. I mean, I can get it on.
If you ever get in, and you're like laying down and you just want to watch something like to help you go to sleep, just start it. The characters in it, they are so diehard, just awesome. I mean, Jon Snow for me was, and I loved him, and I loved the dragons.
Mm-hmm. I
But
know
I loved the
it's
storyline
setting
until
like
the
a
end.
medieval magical time kind of thing, isn't it?
Not like what you would think. No,
Mm-hmm.
there's not a whole lot of that magic stuff in it at
Okay.
all.
Okay, but it's kind of like a medieval time.
Let's just I mean it's set in this the writer of this he said it in his own mind, in his own world.
Okay.
To us it might look kind of like that medievalish time,
Mm-hmm.
but I
But
mean
it's not
you'll love it.
necessarily. Okay. Well, I'll have to give
Kings and queens, a couple of them here and there. There's one that's runs the place, one that thinks they should be running the place because their family was usurped, and it's just who deserves their just dues, and
Yeah.
they all end up getting
And
into
to
a
answer
big
your
old
question,
war.
Barry, yes, Opie Ryan Hurst was in Remember the Titans. He was a football captain who got his head screwed on straight finally, and realized that the color of a person's skin doesn't dictate jack squat, other than the
Absolutely.
color of their skin. That's all it is. But yeah, Ryan Hurst he's a great actor. And I actually know guys that kind of remind you of him. But Ope, man, he was just God. Yeah, what
It's
happened
awesome.
to him, that broke my heart into a million.
Listen, not that episode. I will never watch it again. It's just like Titanic. You couldn't pay me to sit there and watch certain episodes of that
And
ever
the
again.
look on Charlie
Never.
Hunnam's face. He
Did
sold
you
that.
see the after all that was over and
Mhm.
Opie did his last? Did you see them telling each other goodbye and how they broke down and cried with each other?
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
they were
they
best
really
friends.
were good they're great friends. Yeah.
We let him shave his mustache off and everything, and I
Mhm.
mean, man, it just something else.
Yeah. I mean, it was just a fantastic thing. Now we're talking about Jon Snow. Stephanie
Yeah,
here.
they're
Laying
supposed to
dead
be
on that
coming up
slab
with
for
a
over
new
10
one.
years now. God.
Yeah.
So
Well, if he would do it, it would let us know how the directors of HBO left the last few episodes was ridiculous. Now, don't get me wrong, some of it was, God, it was wonderful. Y'all
I
remember
heard
when
something
Melisandre
about
walking through there and hit the fire on all of them? She's like, hold up your torches. Oh, chills.
I mean, it was I heard a lot of disappointment about some kind of a big final battle.
Oh my God, final battle was great.
Okay.
It was great. It was great that the house that needed to be there is there, but they killed off some characters like Jorah and
Mm-hmm.
Beric Dondarrion favorites. I mean, they were just great.
Man
I mean,
favorite.
when you watch it, you'll see what we're saying. These actors feel like your family. I mean, you're just like
Well, yeah.
so defensive over every little thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get that. That's the sign of a good show
That's
when
how
you
it
get
is.
drawn in like that. It really
Yeah,
is. So, what do you think about the Estes experiment next Thursday,
I'm ready.
and seeing if we can reach Krista?
I'm ready. Sounds good to me.
Okay, so if we can get all of you guys out there to tell your friends, Thursday at 9:00, we'll go in, we'll do the opening, say a few words, say a few prayers, of course, and from there, Stace will do what she really does. And I will be there to ask any questions that come out of the chat room, and hope that Lloyd will be feeling a little better and he can too, and we can just kind of be there for Stace and hopefully something turns loose with this.
We can all
And,
get in this circle going.
well, this all started with Summer Wells, and we
We'll all
got
get this
answers.
circle going. She keeps coming through. We hear from Amber.
Amber,
It's an open floor. They're
who
welcome.
comes? Will you be on Sunday? That is undetermined yet. If we are on, we will promote it on the Facebook channels. But right now, we are still getting.
We've both been so swamped.
Yeah.
And
it's been
I've been
crazy.
actually working with some Patreons, also doing some private things for them too.
Yeah.
And that's always still open for any of the Patreons.
Yeah.
If you need me to get in touch, I'm here 24/7.
But yeah, hopefully we will be able to do something Sunday. That's good, Lord willing, and the creek doesn't rise. So, and after a quarter inch of rain Saturday, it may very well. So, yeah, thanks a lot, Lori. So we'll step on out and call this one a night. But definitely next Thursday. And if we're going to be on Sunday, we will make sure to go ahead and. How do we do those, Stace? That's a good question.
Genevieve, you just get in touch with me.
So she can do that through Facebook, through 606.
Just add me on Facebook. Get me on there, and we can set up a time, and we can go over with what's going on for you.
Yeah, you can normally delve out 5 or 10 minutes, something like that, whatever you see fit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, well, guys, with that being said, we're going to step out. Hope that y'all have a good night, and hopefully by next week, I'll have the intros and the outros all straightened out, and maybe a little something extra for you. And before we go out, we just want to say, I hope that you have a wonderful 2024, and I hope that your 2023 Christmas and New Year's Eve was great. And we look forward to seeing you all again here next Thursday. So with that being said, Stace, have a good night, dear. I love you.
You too, honey. We love you.
Lloyd, have a great night, brother. And you all take care of yourself.
Love y'all.
We'll see you soon. Good night, everybody. And as always, stay mysterious.